Now, I'd like to respond to the comments that were made regarding me and the rabbi. Let me begin by saying that my attempt to interject a small amount of levity into a private conversation that I was part of that took place in a public setting was nothing more than an attempt to bring a little levity to what was otherwise a tense and difficult conversation. One of the comments that you made was that you had not received anything from me in response to the letter that the rabbi sent me on the 13th. Well, in fact, I have been pondering that question. And since you indicated that my failure to respond is some sort of an affront to you and your organization, I'll make sure that I get that response out to you, and I'll get it out quickly because it's already been drafted. When I read the letter of the 13th, I think, when it came in, I have to tell you that I found that letter to be purposeful in its effort to misconstrue my comments. I found it self-centered, I found it arrogant, and I found it close to libelous. You took offense because I called you Barb and not Rabbi. Who writes a letter and criticizes someone for not addressing them with their organizational title? I've never run into that, but you apparently felt that was important. And the only thing I can assume from your letter with respect to that is that you judge yourself to be superior to me. Perhaps it's because you're a Jew, or perhaps it's because I would appreciate you wouldn't laugh when I'm speaking. Yes, you are. I take it that you either felt you were superior to me because you're Jewish, or perhaps because you've attained a certain level within your organization. Well, let's be clear. I completely reject that. Then you went on to criticize me because I think, as you said, I mocked the garb of your organization. I made a small, lighthearted comment about one element, and you took that and construed it to be an attempt to mock your garb of your organization. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Then you went on to somehow connect my comments to you, which probably took no more than 3 seconds, to be somehow tied to a national anti-Semitic movement. That's absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And unsupportable. You then went in to criticize me with respect to my duties as an elected official. Well, I think I've carried out my duties rather well as an elected official. And my suggestion to you would be, Rabbi, that you tend to your flock and I'll tend to mine. I also want to point you to something is there something again funny about what I'm saying?
Disappointing.
No. Yeah, well, you're disappointing to me too.
That's fine.
Extremely disappointing. That you would come out and criticize in a public setting my lighthearted comment to her and construe it as some broad anti-Semitic attack. It's nonsense.
Excuse me, sir, your comment was anti-Semitic.
Please
It
be.
was.
You don't have the floor. I have the floor. Okay. Let me be clear
I'd
about
like
it.
to respond.
No, you've had your chance to talk. This is my chance to
Put me out and
talk.
I'll let them respond. Thank you, sir.
You're not going to have a chance to respond because the meeting will be over. That's how this works. Okay?
Order.
I guess so.
You're correct. I'm going to direct you to one final element, and that is the Constitution of the United States. I'm going to direct you to Article 1. It says, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of a religion, and so on and so forth, prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And then I'm going to direct you to Article 4 of the Constitution. The last 20 words or so are as follows. No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification of any office or public trust under the United States. I think those are particularly applicable. So, in summary, you're not going to get an apology from me. I deserve one from you. Thank you, that's it. Thanks.
Ms. Cerrucci?